We just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, I'm going to do my review for the mid-season finale for The Walking Dead. I know I'm a day late, but yesterday was my birthday. I had a wonderful time. I took the night off from videos, had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. I spent it in New York with my family, so I am feeling really good, had a lot of fun. But let's talk about this mid-season finale. So, immediately you guys are going to want to know how I felt about this mid-season finale. Well, I definitely liked the episode better than I did the preceding episodes, but that's not saying a whole lot because a lot of you know I wasn't too crazy about the preceding episodes. Look, a show is not perfect. I've loved The Walking Dead for a very long time. For the most part, it has not steered me wrong. But the thing of it is that, nothing's perfect. It's just, I find it kind of hard to believe that they've done some of the things they've done. In particular, this episode, for mid-season finale, the pacing was very, very slow. That's been kind of like the theme of this first half. And I'm not saying that this first half of the season should be much like the first episode where it was action-packed. I mean, we know they can afford that. But there was just something missing this time around. And, I think a lot of that had to do with this Beth arc. I know I sound like a broken record. I keep saying it. But this whole first half, after Terminus, more or less revolved around Beth. And while I do like the character to an extent, I don't like her to the point that people think that she's suddenly this badass. A lot of you who heard my podcast, you guys know I'm not convinced with that. And I think they made the right decision. I got to be honest. I think they made a right move getting her off the show because the show is getting to a point where it's going to start really getting brutal. They're going to be on the road. We know it's, for those of you who read the comics, you know what's coming down the line. There's no place for a character like Beth. There isn't. There's no place for an innocent, scrawny, someone who's just not seasoned. And I'm not saying she couldn't continue to live on in the episode, in the show, but if she had continued to live on, I think she would have been better suited being a caretaker. And there's nothing wrong with that. Look, not everybody can be a badass. You have to have people in the group who can contribute in other ways, and Beth was that character. But I think they got to a point with Beth where they felt like they had to give her more, and when they started to do that, they started to realize it's not working. It's just not convincing. That's my opinion. I'm not saying I was in the boardroom or anything, but that's how it kind of played out to me. So, in terms of the episode, look, the opening was great. I thought it was interesting that Rick said the exact same thing to Officer Bob that Gareth from Terminus said to Bob, which is you can't go back. And I thought it was kind of stupid of him not to stop. It's like, what are you doing? I mean, you got zip ties behind your back. There's walkers all over the place. You got a guy chasing with a car. There's no way you're going to outrun him. So it's kind of dumb to me that he just didn't stop. But be that as it may, I did like the opening scene. Now, going to the rest of the episode, it just was very underwhelming. We're used to very pivotal events happening in a mid-season finale. Obviously, last year for the mid-season finale was fantastic with the whole governor arc and Herschel's death. This one just seemed very, very lame. It really was. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad that the first half is over. And I don't know what happened with this show on this first half after the first 3 episodes, which were brilliant, which were just excellent. But again, it's Beth. Beth was the issue. The reason I think myself and some other people had issues with this first half is because Beth is not a strong character, and they revolved a lot of things around Beth. That's what it comes down to. I don't expect the same kind of theme, the same kind of flow in the second half of the season. I expect something more. But back to the episode. So then we get, the officers, they're being honest, they're talking about the trade. You see Dawn and her exchange with Beth. They try to humanize Dawn, which we've seen this done before. It was more convincing with the governor because he'd been around longer. David Morrissey's a fantastic actor. So I wasn't buying that. And, the exchange, it's funny. I really think that had they gone in Rick's way, they probably would have done better. But I like the fact that Rick at least stepped back and let's do it Tyrese's way. And it worked out perfectly. Actually, nothing went wrong. It was Dawn who had the issue. And, Dawn wanting Noah back, and obviously Rick had an issue with that. I mean, Noah was a free man. So, that was okay. That was fine. I mean, look, not everything, they don't have to always make these episodes or these mid-season finales explosive and violent, But the reason this one didn't necessarily work for me is because, again, we have a group of hospital officers and cops who just were not there long enough for us to build up any kind of hate. We had barely enough time to build up hate with Dawn. And then on top of that, they try to humanize her all at the same time. It just was a mess. It really was a mess. That's how I felt. And, you know, again, I just think that they need to get back to, you know, not feeling like they always have to take certain characters and build them up to be badasses. It's okay if Beth would have remained a caretaker who sings and takes care of the kids. Not everyone can be a Carol. You know what I mean? So overall, but it was better than the preceding episodes. And it's not that Beth's death didn't like affect me. It did, but in a different way. It affected me for Maggie. You know, when I saw Maggie break down and cry, and you see Daryl's reaction, that hit home. But I think Maggie's reaction, and I think the feeling for Maggie after seeing her sister dead would have probably hit me more had she acknowledged her sister at some point in the first half, which she really didn't. Not until early in the episode when Michonne said, hey, we're going after Beth. She's alive. So it's like, you know, there's a lot of missed opportunity in this first half of the season. And they focused on things that I thought they shouldn't focus on so much. Beth being one. Father Gabriel in this episode. What was the point of all that? I understand the point, but still, do we need to do that now? Like, can that come later? It's not that I don't like Father Gabriel, but we don't need that right now. And we didn't even get to see, like, Carol in this episode. Like, we got to see her, but she didn't interact. There was no even moment in the hospital where her and Beth talked. You know, we saw a scene where she was just waking up. You'd think we get at least a minute scene where Beth and Carol talk. So you're going to tell me before Beth dies, they don't play a little catch up? It's just a lot of missed opportunity, and it's very disappointing. Do I think the second half is going to be like that? No. I think now that Beth is out the way, I think now that the Beth storyline is out the way, they can focus on what they need to do next. Now, in terms of the ending, I'm gonna end it here with the Morgan thing. You know, Morgan, I love Lenny James. I love the Morgan character. I've been dying to see him so much. When I saw him at the end of the first episode, it was fantastic. Now I see him at the end of this second episode, you can see more and more that Morgan has changed. He prayed. He had like little luck charms on him. He now knows that he's following Rick's tracks. However, on the flip side of that, can we fucking get Morgan already? I mean, do we have to drag this out any longer? I mean, people have been asking for this guy since like season 1. People have been asking for Lenny James as Morgan since we last saw him, especially after Clear. Once Clear hit, people were like, oh, we got to get Morgan back. And still, here we are, season 5, and we're still waiting for this fucking guy to show up permanently. So, you know, as much as I love it, and I do love it, I love Morgan, enough's enough. Can we get the ball rolling on this? So, but anyway, guys, I mean, overall, the episode was better for me, but it still didn't quite cut it. I think the first half of season 5 started off with I mean, fire, man. It started off incredible. Once episode 4 hit, it just went downhill from there. And I know a lot of people love Beth out there. It's not that I hate the character. I think they just made a bad decision trying to build up a character that just didn't have quite the history and quite the nurturing and quite the development that Carol got. And I think they found out halfway through it was the wrong move and they killed her off. And the way you can tell that, at least in my opinion, was the way the death happened. It was so sudden. It didn't make any sense. Why the fuck would you go and kill this woman when there's sets of people ready to kill each other if someone makes the wrong move? So there's little things there you can see where I think The Walking Dead really, really said to themselves halfway through and said, you know what, this is not going to work. We need to end this. And that's how it looked to me. That's how it looked to me anyway. But so anyway, guys, you can expect me to do a podcast of The Walking Dead. I'm going to talk a little bit more in detail about the first half. I'm going to give some second half predictions. I will upload probably part of that podcast here, but there will be links in the description where you can find a full episode for you to download and listen to at your convenience. And we will definitely talk some more Walking Dead as the weeks go by until the second half of the season, or second half of the season of season 5, excuse me. Anyway, guys, if that's it for this review, this is Rob signing off for ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching ETN. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Join the nation's Facebook page to meet other subscribers or visit ETN's Facebook page and Twitter page. Links for all are in the description. You're watching ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, I'm going to do my review for the mid-season finale for The Walking Dead. I know I'm a day late, but yesterday was my birthday. I had a wonderful time. I took the night off from videos, had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. I spent it in New York with my family, so I am feeling really good, had a lot of fun. But let's talk about this mid-season finale. So, immediately you guys are going to want to know how I felt about this mid-season finale. Well, I definitely liked the episode better than I did the preceding episodes, but that's not saying a whole lot because a lot of you know I wasn't too crazy about the preceding episodes. Look, a show is not perfect. I've loved The Walking Dead for a very long time. For the most part, it has not steered me wrong. But the thing of it is that, nothing's perfect. It's just, I find it kind of hard to believe that they've done some of the things they've done. In particular, this episode, for mid-season finale, the pacing was very, very slow. That's been kind of like the theme of this first half. And I'm not saying that this first half of the season should be much like the first episode where it was action-packed. I mean, we know they can afford that. But there's just